Hello dear students, I am Dr. Sanjay Pagar, Associate Professor, Department of Geography. Dear student, I welcome all of you in this online lecture series on behalf of Maratha Vidya Prasar Samajas, Carrot Arts, BH Commerce and AM Science, popularly known as KTHM College Nasik. Dear student, this is our SYBSc Geography class, semester 4 and title of our subject is Environmental Geography Part 2 and the paper code is GG241. Dear student, today in this lecture we are going to discuss for topic number 2, that is environment planning and management. And today we have a subtopic for discussion, that is environmental protection and the conservation acts in India. Dear student, in previous lecture we have discussed detailed information about various approaches of the environmental management. For today's lecture, we have a study objective or learning objective that is very simple to discuss the environmental protection and the conservation acts in India. The need and importance of protection and the conservation of environment is clearly stated in the Constitution of India. There were several acts and the regulation before the independence of India, but the true and well-developed framework of the guideline for the protection of environment came into existence only after the United Nations Conference on the Human Environment held at Stockholm, Sweden in June 1972. After the Stockholm Conference, the Government of India set up a National Council for Environmental Policy and Planning in 1972 under the Department of Science and Technology to establish a regulatory body to look after the environmental related issue. Dear student, then numbers of the various act we was introduced in India for the protection of the environment. Among them, one is a very important, and that was the Environmental Protection Act of 1986. Dear students, the government enacted the Environmental Protection Act in 1986 under the article of 253 of the Constitution with the objective of protection and the improvement of the human environment and prevention of hazards to human being, other living creature, plant and property. Dear student, the Environmental Protection Act came into force in all India on 19 November 1986. The Act contained 26 chapters and that was divided into the 26 sections that was divided into the 4 chapters. This Act was made for specially 3 things. The first thing was to protect and to improve the environment. Second was to prevent hazard to human beings. And last one was, it was in respect of living creature, plants and the property. Then other objective of this law act was such as to implement the decision taken into the United Nations Conference on Human Environment held at Stockholm in June 1972. Second was to ensure that the Article 253 of the Constitution of India is fulfilled and not to violated. And third one was to punish those who are responsible for environmental degradation and the cause a threat to health. That is very important. Means as per this law, if anybody observe the guilty, you are not aware of these rules and regulation, that was the various things that are mentioned in this act, so that definitely he will be the punished by this act. So that was the also included in this objective. Another important objective was to enact the legislation for the protection of environment. Another was to cover all kind of pollution. It include the air pollution, water pollution, soil pollution, noise pollution. That was also important objective of this Environmental Protection Act. Another important objective was to lay down the safe standard for the emanation or the discharge of environmental pollutant from the various sources. It may be factory or it may be the other sources that are responsible for create the various type of the pollution in our environment, and that was also one objective that was included in this act. Another important objective of this act was to prohibit the use of hazardous material unless the prior permission is taken from the government. I am talking about the central government. That is very important because all these rules and regulation was regulated by the central government of India. Though Therefore, this is very important objective with respect to this law. And another important object was to coordinate the activity of the various regulatory agencies under the existing laws that were part and parcel of this law. That all agencies was coordination among these agencies was also expected in this law. To create the authorities and officer for the environmental protection, that's very important, because implementation of this law is very important. For that purpose, there was need of various authority, various officer, and that was also included in these laws. Then we have the another important, very important objective of this law or of this act was to formulate rules and the standard for the environmental protection. This is also very important. The comprehensive guideline and the detail was included in the as per this objective in this law to formulate rules and standards for the environmental protection. Then we have another important objective to ensure the sustainable development. That is very important, because the sustainable development was a part and parcel of this act. Because you know that the sustainable development, what we are doing the economic development, but simultaneously we also take the care about the environmental balance and the ecological balance of the environment, and that was also important objective was added in this act. Let us talk about the power of the central government to take measure to protect and improve the environment. Dear students, the Environmental Protection Act of 1986 has provided a power to central government to take all kind of necessary and expected measures, expedient measure to protect and improve the quality of the environment and prevent, control and reduce the environmental pollution. That was very important. The other than this, central government has falling power and authority that was also included or the mentioned in this act. The first is to make the coordination of action by the state government officer and the authority, and that clearly these are the very basic thing, because on the basis of these authorities and the corporation of these agencies, officers and the authorities, the implementation of this law was possible. Therefore, this was the first very important, there was mentioned things. Another important thing is planning of the nationwide program for the prevention, control and abandonment of the environmental pollution was also included in this law. Laying down the standard for the quality of the environment in its various aspects was also the part of this environmental protection law. Then we have the number four important power of the central government was laying down the procedure and the safeguard for the prevention of the accidents which may cause the environmental pollution. That is very important. That process was also mentioned in this act. Examination of the manufacturing process, the materials and the substances which are likely to cause the environmental pollution, that was also included in this law. The carrying out the investigation and the research relating the problems of the environment pollution. Then we have the inspection of any permission, the premises, plants, equipment, material or substances. Then establishment of the recognition of the environmental laboratory and the institute. The collection and the disseminations of the information in respect to matter relating to environment pollution was also included in this process. Then we have the another important, the characteristic of this law was, if any person who is not complying the provision stated in this act and its a failure or contravention will make him liable for the punishment on the basis of the following background, on the following issue. The first is that in the term of, very important, that is in term of imprisonments up to the extension of the time span of 5 years. If you not obey these acts, then definitely that person was able to punishment under this section, and that is why the first is very important. In the term of imprisonments up to the extension of the time span of 5 years. Then what second, with fine which may extend it to the term of 1 lakh rupee. That is very important, was mentioned in this law, in this act. Or the liable person has to deal with the both of the punishments. So yes, this was very important punishment that was mentioned. If a person not able to obey this law or this act, then definitely he was liable for the punishment that was also mentioned in this act. Number 4 is the if the contravention of the office or the offense and the continues for 1 year, and the punishment can be extended up to the 7 year also. That was also included in this. Dear student, another important characteristic of this or the feature of this Environmental Protection Act, what who can make a complaint. There was also provision to make a complaint against this law. On the complaint can be filed by two parties. That first is the central government or any authority associated with the government. So therefore, if you want to do a complaint against, suppose you are you receive the notice about the punishment from the government, central government or any agency, that time you can able to complain against your that order or maybe that notice toward the central government or any authority that is associated or related with the government. Here you can do your complaint. Another is any person who has given the notice of complaint within the term of 60 days. That is very important. Within the 60 days you can do this complaint. That was also mentioned in this act. So therefore, dear student, this was about this the Environmental Protection Act. In next lecture we are going to discuss another important act that was related to the wildlife of India. So okay, thank you.